Welcome to Every Strand Counts with me, your host, Dana Wilson. Today's topic is scarring alopecia, and we're featuring our guest, Nadia Hughes. She is a holistic practitioner of trichology and the founder of Trichologist on a Mission. We'll get started here shortly. Please share this with others so they can partake in this conversation. We'll be right back.
In audio.
All right, welcome, everyone. Today's episode of Every Strand Counts with Dana Wilson is sponsored by Position to Pivot, Empowering Strategies for Your Next Chapter. This is a book collaboration crafted by 12 women leaders, including myself. This book is for anyone shifting gears in their career, taking a new direction in their business, or embracing a personal life transition. So, again, the premise of this show is all about every strand counts. We really do believe that every root, every lesson, every experience, and every legacy makes a difference in our lives. So, we feature conversations with various leaders, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs who long to touch, move, and inspire others through their work. And today is no exception. Today's topic is all about scarring alopecia. And our guest today is Nadia Hughes. She is a holistic practitioner of trichology, and she's the founder of Trichologist on a Mission. So I'm so excited. Let me bring her to the stage. Hello, my lady.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here, Nadia.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Dana.
So listen, I know you wear all kind of hats. I only shared that you were a holistic practitioner of trichology. Please share with the world who you are and what you're up to.
Well, my name is Nadia Hughes, as you said, and I practice trichology. That it has become my passion to be able to help those with the need, right, of recovering their wellness and hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I own a health and wellness clinic here in San Antonio, Texas, and I've been practicing since 2015. Conventional trichology. From there in 2016, I made a shift to holistic trichology. I wanted to make sure that I didn't create no systemic changes in the client's body and things like that. But I'm also a mother of wonderful 3 kids. They're grown. They're 25 and 26 already. My twin boys, also with autism. And it's been an experience. Let me tell you, I'm so grateful that God lead me to them.
Yeah.
And just the process of learning from them, such a loving individuals. And that's pretty much who I am. And I just share information constantly with my peers, my community, and those in need of recovering their health and wellness, like I said.
You said something interesting. You said that you did a shift to holistic. Tell me, what's the difference with holistic and traditional trichology?
So my first year of practicing trichology back in 2015, I follow what the trichology schools were recommending, and you want to do what the school tells you.
Right.
But it was really hard for me to conceive or understand that we wanted to fix everyone's issue with the same system, which
Okay.
is DHT blockers, minoxidil, and lasers. It's kind of like, for me, I always say it's kind of like going to the doctor and doctor saying, here, have this aspirin for all the different disease there is out there. So it will not make sense to you. I practiced it for a whole year, Dana. I gave it a shot. And every time my clients come back to me, I wanted to hide under the table.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, very honest,
Yes.
because I knew I was excited. My clients were excited. We were both trying to do everything possible to make it happen. But I was embarrassed at some point. I said, no, this can't be it.
Right.
So usually when you go into trichology, you want to buy everything trichology books,
List.
everything. I mean, I have a library,
Oh,
okay? But then I realized I kind of put a pause, and I think I blame this to God. Let me tell you, I'm going to say it right there. God has the blame on this, because I asked God, I said, I have my communication with him, and I said, listen, you need to help me through this. I cannot fail. I'm a single parent, even that I was already remarried, but it was in my first year of remarried, and
mhm.
I cannot fail my husband that he
Right.
always had me to invest in this.
Mhm.
We know trichology is not an easy
Mhm.
thing for people to trust you.
Right.
So I wanted to be the best. So I told God, if I'm great, show me how great I am.
Okay.
So let me tell you, he lead me to start reading books about what are we made of. That was the first question. What am I made of? Right?
Mm.
If I want to repair myself, and it started communication and just downloading that information. Cells, we're made out of cells. What do I do to repair my cells? And it started a whole frenzy of going into that route. And because of the precaution, not being a doctor, I want to make sure that every information that I provide to my client was carefully, read and
Right.
analyzed, because I didn't want to create like I said, systemic changes. I was experiencing, some of the clients were coming back and saying, "What this? Every time I wear minoxidil, I get dizzy.
Okay.
They faint sometimes, or their heart rate goes up." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I supposed to do?"
Right.
So, and then also the part where sending the client to the dermatologist every time didn't make sense to me. I'm like,
Okay.
so am I supposed to just make money making consultations, doing consultations? That didn't fit well with me. I said, there has to be a way where we can help our clients by preparing ourselves with the right knowledge, right? And not taking anything for conventional trichology. It's a great start, but reality, we needed to dig a little bit more deeper.
Right. Wow.
And that took me the route into even healing myself, my process of healing with my own traumas,
Right.
and I went into the full holistic approach. We don't use no medicine, we don't use no lasers, we don't use no minoxidil and things like that. Why? Because God put everything in this earth for us just to pick up and utilize. But we kind of step away from that, a long time ago, from the natural stuff. And now we're so dependent. This is an era that everybody depends on medication.
Well,
Everybody
they're
depends.
coming back, Nadia. They're coming back, and you're part of that wave. I mean, we're
Yes,
coming
yes,
full circle back to nature and really looking at our bodies. So I mean, I so appreciate you
yeah,
being obedient to God and doing
yes. Let me
listening.
tell you, I tried to quit. I tried to quit because the task is heavy. It's
It is.
heavy.
It is.
But he's like, no, 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 wait a minute. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. And that's exactly how I feel. I feel that I'm a type of person that I care for people. It don't matter who you are. And
Well, you're a
because I care,
natural giver. I mean, you have two boys on the
yeah,
spectrum. I mean, that tells me already a lot. And you know that I have that in common with you with my boy. I know that already takes a lot. That's a natural caregiver right there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
bringing clients into the equation, that's a whole nother and
Yes. So that right there, analyzing, I was able to learn about epigenetics.
right.
In 2018, I went through my own process of ovarian cancer.
Okay.
And I remember me and my husband were in bed one night and we were kind of like sniffing, and it's like, what's going to happen if you gone? What's going to happen with the boys? Because they no longer have their father either. He passed away at a very young age. So it was something that we really worry about. But then, again, God is like, wait a minute. You have the information you need to heal yourself. Stop crying.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm a Cancer. I cry all the time.
Yeah.
I cry all the time. So, and I said, this is the time that we need to prove ourselves that what we share with other practitioners and our communities it works. So after that, I was able to write the Era Epigenetics, a book that I wrote.
Tell us about epigenetics. Tell us what that is, because some
So
people have.
epigenetics,
Mhm.
yeah. So epigenetics it means control above genes. So when we go to the doctor and the doctor say, well, Ms. Hughes, you have high blood pressure, and you try to control it, then you come back and you're like, nothing is working, right? And he's like, well, it's genetics. Your mom have it, your
Right.
father had it, and so we kind of just go with that information. The program, it's a programming that it's left in our brain,
Right.
thinking that nothing can get fixed. So we go home and we passed on all this generational illnesses to our kids without even trying to figure it out. So Dr. Mueller, he was able to analyze how we're able to change or shift the way our genes are expressed by proteins, right? That we can feed the body from environmental stress control, eating habits.
Right.
I mean, you name it, right? And one of the biggest examples I can give you is Arnold Schwarzenegger. What happened with him when he divorced? He has two sons. I don't know if you know. He has two sons. So the oldest one went with him, and he's fit, he's strong. He actually does weightlifting,
Right.
handsome kid, beautiful. But the
Mm-hmm.
one that stayed with mom is obese. It has health issues,
Okay.
much younger, right? So that tells you that sometimes as mom, we can, uh, either hurt or help our kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the environment that the child is in is super important. First of
Right.
all, starting from age 0 to age 6, that's where we pick up our what we call the childhood traumas, because that marks us on who we're going to become as an adult, right? So now we have a long life, process of healing and fixing our issues. Or if triggers happen, then we know that's our trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that prevents us from moving forward, from fulfilling our dreams and things like that.
So
So
wait a minute.
epigenetics have.
Hold
Mhm.
on, Nadia, because I'm sitting in the audience knowing nothing about hair loss and alopecia. So you're telling us that childhood trauma impacts our genes and our hair loss right now. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying? Okay. That's
Correct.
I
Like
want
we learn in conference that generational trauma, if you remember that
Oh
that
yeah.
that
Oh yeah. Oh
and it tells us that those generations that come from the Holocaust, right? I
mm-hmm.
mean, they were put in a room and just the smell, right? It caused their nervous system to shut down. So that's
Exactly.
exactly how generational traumas can be passed on. Same thing, diseases and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's why it's important always. I always tell my clients, listen, you have to figure out what's going on with you, because we cannot, this is not about, putting a little bit of drops here and there. This
Right.
goes deeper into your DNA. So now we know that we don't have an excuse to say, well, my father was bald, my mom was bald, my grandma was bald. Or they come and tell you, the clients is like, all of my brothers and sisters have beautiful hair, but I'm bald. Why is that, right? So reality is that the way the genes are expressed, it's going to be a job that we have to do, right? So it's
Right.
kind of like a switch on and off, Dana. And methylation is going to be the key component, the very first one to start with, right? Because we live in a microwave era where
Right.
all the food is microwave, fast food, fried food, all this stuff that has no benefit to our body,
Right.
right? And I always tell my clients, think about the food as the information you send the body to a cellular at a cellular level, and it's telling your body how to behave. So
Yes.
majority of the foods that we eat is hormone disruption,
Right.
right? It's going to cause issues, inflammation with the gut. You're going to have all this problems with your ovaries and things like that. So it is important that we understand and we know what we're ingesting. GMOs, they sell them in the store every day, all day, right?
All day, all day. Nadia, so tell me why you're passionate about scarring, because we're talking about scarring alopecia today. Why is that a passion of yours right now?
Well, because just the same way as I was practicing trichology, and they say scarring alopecia is not reversible.
Right.
Then me doing my own due diligence, my own research, I find out that there's two different type of scarring hair loss: the active and then the calcified one. So understanding that part was like a poof,
Right.
right? When you have your own experience with your own clients, you know what you're seeing. Nobody can tell you
Right.
nothing, right? So one of the things that I noticed in trichology is that there is very few books with dark skin tones or African American problems, right?
Right.
Majority of the books are light skinned individuals.
Right.
And when you look at your African American or African descent client or dark skinned client, it don't match. We
Right.
don't know what we're looking at. We're lost, right? So that part is like, okay, I'm going to have to dig a little bit deeper, because even that there's two different, because when you talk about, I have scarring or hair loss like CCC or lichen planopilaris, which is the most common, right?
Okay.
The client comes to you and you're like, okay, so there's very few hairs, right? It's very dispersed, but it's active because there's a lot of biofilm. There's a lot of sebum. So that tells you Sebastian's glands are still functioning. So there's
Right.
something that is preventing, underlying, that is preventing from that hair to be produced, right? But one of the biggest mistakes I see, even on the CCCA group that I'm part of, is
Mm-hmm.
that everybody compare each other to their hair loss because of the pattern, or
Right.
because they have CCCA, or they were told they had
When they were
CCA.
told that they had CCCA. Right.
You can never do that. Never do that, because I can show you clients that look the same, but
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the blood chemistry analysis, it's a totally different ball game,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, majority of the times, what I've seen now is that many ladies are getting their body done, and anesthesia, it's onsetting autoimmunity, and they don't know.
Is that right?
Oh my gosh.
Is that
So because they come as like, I didn't have this, I didn't have this issues, I didn't have the symptoms. Well, believe it or not, it's kind of like, and that's going to be my next research, I think,
well,
because
that's interesting because I have not come across that issue yet.
yeah,
I have not come across that
yeah,
issue where
yeah.
I
So,
found that.
in trichology questionnaire, usually it limit us. I'm nosy,
Yeah.
and nosy for my own good, because I need to find out how to help you better.
Yeah.
So then going back to the type of hair loss, the scarring hair loss, the calcified, you see where that scalp has lost immunity. It
Mm-hmm.
has lost the lymphatic system from functioning properly, and blood circulation,
Mm-hmm.
because people are scared to even touch their hair.
Right.
One of the biggest challenges is getting African American women to shampoo their hair daily basis. And I'm the crazy one that tells them, like, you're gonna have to shampoo. You gotta choose your battles. Which one you want?
Yeah, we that is definitely something that we have to re-educate in the community, the value of shampooing your scalp and your hair on a regular basis. Because we just don't know. We just don't know. We're
Let me
worried
tell
about how to
you.
manage it thereafter.
Yeah.
That is the issue.
So reality is that there's layers and layers and layers. That's what's called biofilm. You're
Hmm.
doing this to yourself because first of all, your body is full of inflammation.
Right.
And because the body is going to protect itself, cytokines are going to be delivered to where the inflammatory problem is, right? Which is the scalp, all right? But our scalp is connected to our body systems, to different meridians, right?
Right.
The psychosomatic area of the person overthinking. So when I see women, they have gaps on the sides, I joke with them, but I'm like, you're crazy, right?
Hmm.
Because this is people that consistently is overthinking, and then they have a certain way of thinking to do things, and they go against even on their own selves.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a cycle, So that's where I think the community of scarring hair loss community has to be educated, because once you have connective tissue disease, Dana, connective tissue, it's what keeps our
Hmm.
our structure, right?
Right.
If you get connective tissue disease, everything shifts. It gets shift completely, and that's exactly what's happening in the scalp. What happens when you see folliculitis decalvans, right? Instead of each follicle growing like this, they go like this, right,
Right.
in a bunch, like a little broom, right? And you're like, what happened here? Well, guess what? The connective tissue shift, right? And then, of course, understanding that if you have connective tissue, also porosity is going to change completely in your hair. And you're using all these oils, all this stuff to hydrate it. It's so much to
It's
unveil when we
it's
talk
it's
about
a
this.
lot. It's a lot, Nadia. And as a trichologist, I can hear and connect and understand exactly what you're saying. But for people who are just having in their minds, I'm saying just losing their hair, they just need a simple way of getting support. A simple way
Yeah.
of getting support. And so
Yeah.
I know you are the founder of Trichologists on the Mission. Um, can you tell us a little bit about that and why did you find this organization?
So, Trichologist on a Mission was created after the struggles I had with trichology.
Okay.
Trying to find someone to share information, trying to create a community that we share in between each other. Because the situations you see back in home, I might not see those situations here in Texas, because you're closer to water. I'm not, So things like that, sharing information between each other, grow a community where we can support our communities. This is not a one person's job. It's not,
Right.
it's about um, eh, educating practitioners to take back information to their communities, and that's how information gets spread. Awareness.
Right.
Unfortunately, Black and brown people don't go to the doctor as we should,
Right.
right? We're going to use everything and anything, grandma's, things at home, before we even go. But when you see a Caucasian person that, they get a red here, it's like, oh no, this wasn't here yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
running to the hospital right now. you
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
but
I'm
that also
so
has
glad.
to do
Go
that
ahead.
also has to do with our traumas, Dana,
Yeah.
not thinking that we're not enough, that we don't love each other enough to take care of ourselves properly.
Yeah.
So my advice is, like, listen, go get help, go find someone, because it's so sad when I get clients and it's over. Like, there's nothing I can do at this point, but because they see that I can reverse some of the scarring hair loss, they're like, I have a chance. But unfortunately, this is the myth or the misunderstanding that we have in our thinking. First of all, that is not reversible, right? If it's caught on time, most definitely you can maintain. Epigenetics has teaches that you can die healthy in the sense that you can die of age, because your organs are tired and so on, but
Mhm.
not with all this disease that is passed on through our generations, our parents, and so on. So we
Perfect.
don't have no excuse no more.
Let me put your website up here. I
Thank
want
you.
people to be able to know where to go and to be able to find. Can they go on here and find other trichologists as well?
Yes, they can find practitioners. As I said, we practice holistically.
Hmm.
We try to do things a little bit more different than conventional trichology. Reality is that people are becoming aware of the toxicity that is in our products, the toxicity that is in our foods, in our medications, and things like that, that they want a different route.
Yeah,
So, and I'm not saying the conventional trichology is bad. I'm just saying that we want to give choices, for the client to choose. This is what I want to do. If you want to get Propecia or any other medication, then you go to a dermatologist, because we cannot recommend that. But if you want to be able to heal, from ground up, then most definitely you can go to holistic practitioners of trichology and find someone near you.
perfect. We're going to go to a commercial break, but Nadia, when we come back, I would like to talk about some of the research that you're doing, and talk to the audience about maybe how they can participate in that research.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. Imagine having encouraging support, accountability partner, and strategic planning to create your next level of natural freedom. Here at Hair Cares Inc., we empower audacious women with the understanding that every strand counts. By piecing mind, body, and spirit components together that result in scalp rejuvenation, hair regeneration, and a growing, sustainable, thriving Sister Locks business. We provide in-person and virtual hair growth services, Sister Locks business consulting, personal coaching, and mentorship. We believe that every strand counts. Every root, every lesson, every experience, and every legacy makes a difference in our lives. We are proud to encourage holistic living and full self-expression through hair advocacy, training, coaching, consulting, books, and our show, Every Strand Counts. I'm Dana Wilson, the CEO and Director of Hair Cares Inc. All right. So Nadia, again, thank you again for being a pioneer in this holistic
Thank
approach.
you.
That this is definitely a new wave that I see, and not a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon. Of course, because it is about this holistic approach. We have to get to the root cause of what's going
Yeah.
on instead of just putting band-aids on these things. So, if
Most
you could
definitely.
please share with us about this research that you're doing.
Yes. So recently we did a research with Dr. Porter and Dr. Hampton
Mhm.
about the microbiome that we found in the area of concern. For instance, taking sample of the area that it was affected, right?
Right.
And then also from the area that is not affected. We want to understand a little bit better what's happening, right? I always been telling Dr. Porter, right? Dr. Porter, I know whatever we eat comes up here. And she's like, no, we cannot say that until we do research, And I understand, medically, in the industry, if you don't have proof of what you're saying, it doesn't count. It's like you're not saying absolutely nothing. So understanding that importance. So we are about to get those results very soon, which I'm very excited.
Yeah.
But the next one is what I'm working on right now is the removal of the biofilm on scar tissue. I've been able to find a totally different ecosystem under that biofilm. Dana, I think this is
Yeah.
breakthrough
No,
information.
Listen, that this is perfect because I was just amazed for myself personally when I've seen this on my client. I said, this is what Nadia was talking about. This is it
Yes,
right
yes,
here.
yes. And
Yes.
there is a process that the client has to go through. It's not going to happen from one day another one, because think about it. It's that protection that the body produces that we see it as bad, right? But it's biofilm, and biofilm is sticky in
Mhm.
form. It's sticky. It's like kind of like the phlegms, but dried out,
Right.
right?
Right.
And or another example, when our teeth have what is that, not cavities, but the other one,
What, plaque? Plaque?
plaque.
Plaque.
That hard plaque, that is a biofilm.
Yeah.
Coal in our eyes, when a client has seborrheic dermatitis, all that, or erythema, all that excessive amount of cell turnover, that is a biofilm, but it shows different on individuals with scarring. So I have this client that has been with me, baby, about, I want to say 7 months now. And I'm talking about, I mean, about 80% of her hair was gone. It was a great gap, right? And all I could see is that biofilm. And she's like, I want to do it. I want now, mind you, she has a lot of health issues that we had to work through.
Right.
She gets enema, she gets constantly even skeletal massages and things like that to realign her body. So she allowed me to work with her, and so I said, okay, so based on what I read and what I've been finding out, I'm just going to apply it. And let me tell you, Dana, when I tell you that it's literally like peeling off a snake's skin, like
Wow.
skin and skin and skin, and then you see all these hairs under there, all
Right.
this ecosystem. It's kind of like, oh my God. So when I got sick in December, I was like, God, this is not the time for you to slow me down.
So
Okay.
how can one, because how can one be a part of this research? And I'm speaking from the client perspective. They know they
Yeah.
have something going on with their scalp. They can actually see, they don't know it's biofilm, but they do know that they see some scaling on their scalp.
Yeah.
So what can they do to be part of your
So definitely contact us, and of course, depending on the need of the individual, everybody's different, Dana. We
Mhm.
cannot compare ourselves. Please don't do that.
Right.
But one of the biggest tips that I can give them right now is to shampoo their hair very regularly.
Yeah.
What is that going to do? Is going to soften that biofilm, okay?
Mhm.
And is going to start removing. Don't be afraid of losing hair, because whatever hair you're going to lose, the anchoring system was no longer attached to
Right.
the hair papilla, right? So
Yes.
the anchoring system was already detached and it's ready to come off. So, and that's one of the things why people don't want to manipulate or do anything with it.
Yeah, they're afraid. They're afraid that they want to
They're
hold on to
afraid,
what they
most
have.
definite. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but they can reach us in on my Instagram, which that's what I use the most.
Mhm.
Um and at Harrigan TX, which is Harrigan, Texas. And just reach out that they want to be part of this, because I do have products that needs to be used in this process to
Mhm.
soften, and of course, always good to get a practitioner that you can work with. I'm willing to work with the practitioners and help us, because like I said earlier, this is not a one person's job. You
No.
know me. I share the information with the practitioners, like, listen, we got to get to work, guys, because, I mean, reality time is follicles. We're losing follicles everyday basis,
Yes.
you know? So, but understanding also that they have to go through a whole process of healing, a blood chemistry analysis. How's your body systems are doing? Are they connected? Are they flushing toxins and so on, So, but you need someone to guide you and help you. You cannot do it alone. I promise you, they cannot do it alone. People contact me, can I do this at home? No,
I'm
this
glad
is not
you're
at home.
explaining. I'm glad you're explaining the fact that it's not about a miracle drop uh
No,
product.
no.
this is really, and Nadia is taking it even further to say you need some healing, right? There's some trauma that may be involved that is connecting to
Yeah.
your mind, body, and your spirit, which is
Yeah.
causing you to lose your hair. So thank you for sharing that, because people
Yeah.
have a misconception about what this hair loss thing is all about. It is
Mhm.
it's the whole
Yep.
body, mind, and spirit for sure.
Yeah.
So, Nadia, you have any events coming up? Anything planned you can share with us?
So I'll be in Virginia with Monica Dickinson
Oh, where?
at
Oh, you
Hair
are.
Saviors. Yes, at Hair Saviors.
Okay.
March, I believe it's March 20th to the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. We're
Okay.
going to be assisting clients with that biofilm. Actually, we're going to go train with Monica there because she has a lot of clients with scarring hair loss. And I
Okay.
want to be able to take my time and train her properly. She's one of the distributors for HPT.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to share this because I could die tomorrow, Dana. And I'm not saying that. God,
No, no,
not yet,
absolutely. No,
God. But,
it's the truth. It's the truth. No. Now, where's that? Where in Virginia, Nadia?
uh, I don't want to lie to
Oh,
you. I'm not
don't
great
get me
with,
off. Don't get
because
me fired up that you're gonna be in my backwoods and everything.
yeah, so I am going to be in Stafford, Virginia.
Oh, I'm there. Okay, perfect, perfect.
Yeah,
I love
Stafford,
it.
Virginia, at
Perfect,
Hair Saviors with Monica Dickinson.
perfect.
And I want to be able to see as much as clients possible. So if you are in the area,
Yeah.
of course, you're going to be under Monica's care. But I want to be able to share this information, just share the knowledge. I know we can reach more people by just sharing the information.
Perfect.
Um, and that's pretty much all I'm doing for this year. I'm trying to create an event in Atlanta very soon, but I'm not sure yet because I've been having some health issues right now that I need to take care of myself. You know, when you're a servant, you take care of everybody else. And listen, Nadia has forgot about herself.
Yes, I know
You
all about
know,
that.
just busy, just busy trying to make it happen. But first, God, that He allows to make things happen, will be there. But just reach out. We have a lot of practitioners. They're ready to go. They're
Mhm.
ready to service you. We have people in Africa and Nigeria. We have 3 practitioners there. We have people in Canada, the Caribbeans, and all United States. So,
Good.
so yes, you're going to be in great hands.
Good, good. Thank you so much, Nadia. And for the audience, I've been through Nadia's training. Love it. I absolutely always people are always coming to me. Where should I go? I said, well, you need to go. You need to go find Nadia.
Thank you. Thank you,
First
Dana.
stop there. So thank you so much for being here. I know you are doing great things with this research on this scar and alopecia. We appreciate you. Kind of zero in on folks with color, because we do get lost in the sauce with this. And so I appreciate you targeting that audience. And I look forward to being a partner with you along the way as we are learning and growing in this world of trichology. So thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. And we'll see you at the next one.
All right. Bye bye. All right, everybody. Oh, let me fix my screen here. Everyone, thank you so much. As always, thank you for joining us for this episode about scar and alopecia with Nadia Hughes. Let's keep in touch. You guys go to my website, Hair Cares Inc. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, today's episode is sponsored by Position to Pivot. It is a book collaboration that I am a co-author in. This book is for anyone that is taking a new direction in their life, in their business. It's crafted by 12 women leaders. So go check it out. Go to my website and check it out. We're in pre-orders right now. And stay connected. If you're interested in being a guest on my show, if you want our Touch, Move, and Inspire to share your work with others, oh, hey, apply to be a guest on my show. Go to my website and check it out. So, all right, see you guys. Thank you.